I don't remember arriving here. One moment, I was lying in my bed, drifting somewhere between dream and waking. The next, I was standing in the middle of a street that didn't exist in any world I knew. The city is endless. Skyscrapers jut upward like broken teeth, their glass long shattered. Streets run in loops, some buckled and cracked by roots that force their way through concrete. Cars sit abandoned mid-turn, their doors hanging open, rust swallowing them whole. Everything looks paused, like the inhabitants simply vanished in the middle of their lives. And it's silent. Not the soft silence of night, but a suffocating absence. No birds, no wind, no hum of life. Even my own footsteps sound muffled, as if the air is thick and reluctant to carry sound. At first, I thought I was dreaming. I wandered for hours, calling out for someone, anyone, but the city swallowed my voice. It was only when night came, if you can call it that I began to understand this place. The sky dimmed, not with stars or moonlight, but with a strange bruised glow, like the heavens themselves were rotting. That was when I first saw them. In my sleep, they came. Shapes with limbs too long, torsos too thin, moving in spasms like their bones didn't fit inside their skin. Their faces, no, not faces, just blank expanses of grey where features should be. They moved slowly, deliberately, their heads twitching in unnatural jerks. And no matter how far I ran in those dreams, they were always behind me, always following. When I woke, drenched in sweat, the city was unchanged, but the feeling lingered, the sense of being watched. I tried to stay awake after that. I scavenged through the husks of shops for food, water, anything to anchor me to wakefulness. Most shelves were stripped bare, but I found dusty bottles of water in the back of a gas station and stale crackers that made my throat ache with dryness. But sleep is impossible to resist forever. The next time I closed my eyes, they were waiting. Closer. Their scraping fingers trailed along unseen walls, nails splitting, dragging sparks. And then I began to hear them even after waking. The faint screech of claws on concrete. The echo of limbs dragging across the ground. That was when I realized this wasn't just a dream. The creatures could cross over. I saw one for the first time when I rounded a corner. At first, I thought it was just a shadow stretched unnaturally long across the wall. Then it moved, pulling itself forward in jerks, its arms bending in ways no human arm should bend. Its head turned too slowly, as though the neck had to grind itself into motion. And though it had no eyes, I felt it looking at me. I ran. God, I ran until my lungs were knives. But the streets betrayed me. Corners led me back where I began. Buildings repeated. The entire city folded in on itself like a labyrinth alive, its geometry shifting to keep me lost. The creature didn't chase me the way predators do. It didn't need to. It just followed, deliberate and patient, as if it knew I could never truly escape. Now days or weeks have passed. Time doesn't move right. Here, the light never changes, only that rotten dusk above. I have found shelter in a crumbling library, though the walls breathe with mold and the ceilings sag. I scrawl these words in a journal I found between ruined shelves, the ink skipping as my hands shake. I'm afraid to sleep, but I'm more afraid of what happens if I don't. My body grows heavier with each passing hour, every blink lasting a little too long. I know the moment I let myself drift, I'll see them again. Sometimes I hear multiple sets of claws dragging along the streets outside. Sometimes they whisper, not words, something wetter, like breath passing over raw flesh. The city isn't abandoned. I understand that now. It's alive. And it's theirs. I don't know why it chose me, or if I'll ever leave. But I do know this. The creatures are patient. They don't have to rush. The city bends to keep me here, feeding my exhaustion. Soon, my eyes will close. And when they do, I don't think I'll wake again. 'Cause they're not just in my dreams anymore. They're at the door.